Hi, I'm Poh Chin. I'm from Singapore. I was a former teacher with Singapore in Singapore for 20 over years, and then I left teaching. I went over to Cambodia for the last 2 years. When I left Singapore, I was teaching in a school that had many students who had reading problems. I wanted to look for a program that would help me to help students to read. I couldn't solve the reading problems for many years, and I chanced upon Dr. Solomon's approach, and I signed up for the program. Meanwhile, I had an offer to go over to Cambodia, and at the end of in November 2011, I went over to have a look at the school before I decided to join the school as a vice principal. During one of my visits, I noticed that the students in the school, surprisingly, in the Cambodian environment, they could pick up a book and they could read. And when I had a look at what was on the book, I noted certain quotes, and I also saw how the teacher who was teaching taught the students to blend the different phoneme and using their hands, and also using a slide, which they called a clever card. When I came in December over to Dr. Solomon's Center in December 2011, Dr. Solomon asked me whether I've seen any other reading program, and I gave her the account of what I saw in Cambodia. And then I realized that it was not the authentic reading program, but the Reading for Sure program that I signed up for, and I took the course that I was taught in was the authentic program that actually would really help and benefit the students to read. I was trained in the program for 3 months, and I went back to Cambodia, applied it, and true enough, I found my students having a little difficulties. Once they know how they understood, they could recognize the initial phoneme, and they could start, blending. They went on to read very efficiently. The codes were provided there was a guide card, so the students could rely on the guide card, and there was a slide that the other program called the clever card that the children found very beneficial. My students started reading Fat Cat Sam, and then moved on to the Bali readers, and then they could even handle very difficult words like England, continents, and all these words which I was very sure that my former students in Singapore school, even with the 6 years of primary education and coming to me in secondary 1, couldn't handle. And they could even spell, and they really enjoy reading. And I've taken some of the video clips of the students reading, which are given over to Dr. Solomon.